cool thing to show you. Really, man? Yeah, it's far out and technical and stuff. Awesome. Yeah. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Cool.
Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
Welcome to Tech Shamans. It's a wonderful Monday morning. This is episode 40.
Wow.
I know. Well, we should be way ahead now, but we have missed so many shows.
Feels like it's only been like 3.
I know. For you. I mean, it seems like for freaking ever. No, anyway, I'm just kidding. Today we got a lot of good news going on. First of all, did you know? Okay, so Adobe starts. Huh? No, Adobe is got their big hoo-ha-ha today.
All right.
So I think it starts here at noon, out there at 9. So some of us are gonna watch it. I think Rob in the back is gonna watch it. But the first couple of things I'm gonna talk about this morning are from Adobe. So, and it's actually pretty stinking good. So anyway, good morning, welcome. This is Adam Miles and Anthony Sakovic. Did I say it right?
Da.
Sakovic.
No, it depends on which side of the family, actually.
Da Sakovic.
Yeah, I'm a Russian.
Jew?
No.
Just throw it out there. I don't know.
No.
I have no idea.
No. I'm a Russian collusionist.
Oh, you are?
Yes.
Sweet.
Yes. That's what
They're
I do.
not paying you enough.
I know that.
Just saying. Some of them bitches are making a shitload of money. But anyway, so today, yeah, we're super heavy. What are you talking about today? Just quick touch on it real quick.
Oh, backing up your data and using something that's, uses redundant backups. I'm talking about cryptos.
Oh boy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a list if we ever get to it. 50. Is it the top? Shoot. Yeah, the top 22 gifts for tech loving. Oh, that's the foodies. I've got other ones too. Oh my God, I got so much crap in here. I don't even know where we're at anymore. Anyway, there's a lot of stuff that we're talking about. But yeah, and it's kind of funny. 2 of those that are on the list is and I think we've touched on it before. The Linux thumb drive.
Yeah.
And then the picture backer upper. That's what I'm going to call it. And the list is I may have gotten rid of it because it doesn't, to me it seems like it's a repeat of last year, because one of the things is a little thumb drive to back your photos up, but it does it one touch.
Right.
You click on it and it automatically does it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking to myself, that's what Google's for.
That's right.
If you got a Mac, that's
As
what
long as you remember.
photos are for.
But
hey,
you have to remember your password, John. That's some of the hardest things.
that is some of the hardest things. That's crazy. And what are you going to touch on today?
Today, we're going to talk about building an audience using awesome technology that's available for free or almost free.
Wow, I think I almost want to start with that one.
I like almost free.
That's a hook and a half right there. But we're going to start with Adobe. So Adobe is rolling out some really cool stuff, and it's going to. The first thing we're going to talk about is they're launching a free AI-powered Photoshop camera app.
Ooh.
Now, what this is going to do? This is going to take your Instagram and your photos and all that stuff to a whole different level, because it's smart enough to know to tell you, oh, hey, use this filter instead of this filter.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, and consistency in the look and feel is absolutely crucial.
I was going to say, I mean, people are there. I mean, there's some people that literally freak out when Instagram goes down. Even for like minutes, these people lose their everywhere, because that's where they're making their money. So this AI software goes out and it's searching Instagram and it's searching all this, and it goes back and looks at your posts and stuff, and it will help you find that look and feel that you're trying to continue with. So as goofy as it sounds, it is kind of a big deal. Not that you can't filter this. I mean,
so they're not talking about having to buy a new quantum computer to use any of their apps, right?
No.
No, it runs on your phone.
It runs on your phone, and it's kind of, I mean, I don't know if Rob can show an
No, you have
image.
to have a quantum phone.
Yeah,
Quantum.
yeah, but and it's got to shoot and look like it's in 8K.
Yes.
It answers before it rings.
Yeah. Hopefully Rob
It
can
pre-screens your
Rob
calls.
can pull that up because it does look pretty cool, and it helps you out in whole 9 yards. So
When are they releasing that?
that is this year.
Oh, right.
I just say sorry, 2020.
First quarter.
Probably, because right now I think they're going to wait to roll it out after the whole the Adobe. What are they calling that out there, Rob? Maybe Rob can tell me what they're calling their Adobe.
Come on,
Adobe
Rob.
Fest?
It's probably
Adobe.
what it should be. Oh, Adobe Next Max.
Oh,
okay.
wow. Apple never used that.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
you
Never
know.
used.
But it's supposed to be,
iPhone 7 Max.
so it's if for all you people that live on Instagram and you live on Facebook and you live on Twitter and you need those filters, well,
They
and
got
it's
a
free.
they got a thinning filter.
A what?
Thinning filter.
They do actually. It's called squeezing your video, but it makes you look really tall.
Well, hey,
So
benefits.
Which is not a loss at all.
Yeah.
No,
yeah,
it's not.
That's a win-win right there.
Right, exactly. Which
Wait, I can be taller and thinner?
which probably may help you with the software that you're going to talk about in a little bit, right?
Being better looking?
Well, that we can't fix better looking. If you're
Well,
ugly,
what you're
ugly is
talking about
ugly.
is, yeah.
It used to
Yeah.
be a long time ago. These people would come up to when I was in audio. I did a lot of audio work, and the people would come up and say, "Hey, can you make that sound better?" I said, "I don't have an unsuck button. There's just you either suck or you don't suck. You're either
Unsuck.
good. You have either. And look, money don't buy you talent. I'm just saying, because I was working for people's that kids were mommy and daddy were multi-millionaires and they still couldn't sing.
Funny you said that. I was watching a YouTube video, and this kid had this great mic and everything, and just you could see all the technology behind him and everything. And he's trying to talk, and he's got the background music up in his video so high that you can't even hear your own self think, let alone understand what he's trying to say.
Yeah.
And it
See?
was just a mess. And I'm like, geez, it must be nice to have all that fun stuff to do that with and
Yeah.
not understand how to use it.
Yeah, exactly. So the next thing I'm
How we
going to talk about again is another Adobe product, and people are going to say, "Well, now this is for my people that edit it and using Premiere." Okay, and I'm sorry if you don't use Premiere. It's not in Rush. It's only going to be in Premiere Pro. But if you're getting into that world, this is something that's going to help you because Adobe is releasing an AI-powered video framing tool in Premiere Pro. Now, this is a big deal because if you're not shooting everything on your phone, and you're actually shooting real video, everything today is shot in 16:9, high def. I don't care if it's 8K, blah blah. And well, yeah, it's because the measurements is 16:9 to fit our televisions. But a lot of people want to take clips out of this, or they want to put the whole thing up onto Instagram or Facebook. Well, with Facebook or with Instagram, they prefer you to have a 1-to-1 ratio, right? So hopefully, I owe $1. That's my bad. So Rob is showing right now the 16:9 is that typically how everything is shot. Instagram wants everything in a 1-in-1, and 9:16 is what Facebook likes, right? Now, for me to take that 16:9 and manually cut it so it fits to that 1-to-1 ratio for Instagram, we literally have to go in there and we have to constantly, frame by frame move stuff. Because if the video itself has never been shot for, go to a wide shot, please. I don't like that. I don't like the close up right now. If you shoot everything in a 16:9 like we're in right now, right? And I wanted to be the 1-to-1 would be me only, or the one would be Anthony, or the 1-to-1 would be you. I can go in and tell Premiere, this is the shot I want all the time, for the 1x1.
So it auto
It
censors.
does it by itself, and it literally we're showing it up on our screen in here. If Rod will put, you can reframe it to a 1-to-1. Yeah, I know. I'm just going to talk about it right now. So you can do it. It does it, and it's smart. So it knows to. You can literally watch when you do it. It's kind of cool. You got to watch the framing being moved to find that image that you want. To do that manually, one 30-second video could probably take you 2 days worth of work.
Oh my
if you don't get up and walk away. If you just sit there and do 8 hours, 2 days, to sit there frame by frame by frame by frame, because 30 seconds equals, if you're shooting 60 frames a second, that's 1,800. The math gets so, and then it takes you forever. So this is smart enough to know you take this, you drag it over, put on the clip, and it will follow.
Nice.
Which is cool. That right there is going to save a lot of editors headaches and heartaches and oh, I missed a frame. How did I miss a frame? Because it goes,
Yeah. All of a
Which
sudden you're
happens.
off screen and you're
like,
you're focusing it
whoa.
on the dog.
Right. So it's a very cool product. And so all you people that are doing, and this right here, well, I think what this may do is may push a lot of the social media warriors and actresses and actors and blah, 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 into using a real software instead of trying to do everything on your phone with a Rush or iMovie or whatever people are using at this point in time. So I see why they did it. It's like, oh, hey, we're going to push people to learn Premiere now.
Yeah.
Which means we're going to have more filmmakers out there that are not filmmakers. But anyway, for us in my world, this is going to be an absolutely phenomenal tool for us. So, and I think and this is one of the things that Adobe Mac today will probably talk about and push out and go, yeah, So, look, I'm the video guy, so I'm bringing you all the new video stuff, right? So this next thing I want to talk about from Adobe is it's not video, it's imagery, but Illustrator's coming to the iPad.
Wow.
Yeah, which means the iPads have finally made, in my personal opinion, the iPads have finally really made it to where they're actually able to handle.
Made it. You finally made it.
Heavy duty stuff. Well, look, I had 2 iPads, and neither one of them can handle Premiere. Neither one of them can handle Photoshop. I mean, real Photoshop. And Illustrator would just kick its ass immediately. So now they've got it. They've developed it where it got. And I think it's going to be a dumbed down version. I don't think it'll be the full bore version, but it'll be enough for you to do stuff. Which, me personally, I wouldn't. That right there would drive me insane to try to sit there and work on something I can't have a mouse to.
Yeah, the lack of the mouse is a problem, but we do have the pencil instead. And the Apple Pencil,
does the pencil allow you to move stuff? So what do? Double click on something to move an image?
I think so. Yeah.
Well, in iPad OS, you can use a mouse now.
That is true. The new, that just came out. When did that hit? That was 13, right?
Yeah, that was 13.
13 allowed you
So, iPad OS.
So I can go ahead and
Get a
add that in
Bluetooth.
here now.
Yes, it
Because
should
I've
be under.
upgraded,
It should be under accessibility. The funny thing is, believe it or not,
I will let you know
Apple
right
had
now.
that capability the whole time. They just hit it under the accessibility.
Of course they did.
area. But they made the operating system more desktop friendly, I guess.
Oh, and Photoshop. Like, okay, so Photoshop is available for your iPad now. Illustrator for the iPad will be released by the end of 2020. So, but it's coming, which is cool. I use Illustrator for our stuff, and it does give you the ability to do vector, which is cool on the fly. So for these people that are truly mobile, I think what happened is Mac said, "Oh, we have to compete with the Surface."
Yeah, I think that has been
Because the Microsoft Surface, if you unattach, is a pad.
Yeah.
And on there with you can use a keyboard, mouse, pen, and I saw someone the other day at Starbucks sitting there with their little mouse over here, their pen there, and some of the artwork that this cat was doing was absolutely phenomenal.
That's why they're merging the operating systems are starting to on Mac is starting to come together full circle. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens in the next operating system upgrades.
Right. So anyway, that's coming into 2020, but Photoshop is now. You can download Photoshop today, which is kind of cool. I don't know if look, he's going to go get it.
John's like, get Photoshop.
Get Photoshop.
Do it now.
So, but now the reason I talk about these first 3 things that I talked to is because you need to be able to drive content. Okay, you and I, we all, it's at this sitting at this table. We all know that we use social media, I mean, whether it be Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, whatever, to drive it to your website.
Right. Or
Right.
your brand.
Huh?
Or your brand.
Well, yeah, but I mean, if you don't have a website today and you have a Facebook or you have just this, you're not real. I know. I'm going old school on us. You have to have a website.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
So all this stuff, used to, everybody was always telling everybody to leave enough information, so they want more. More. And then your website is supposed to give them enough information so they want to call you.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's been trying to make everybody call you from the Facebook, from social media. Marketing 101. Make your website make them call you.
Yes.
So social media should push people to your website. Website says, okay, now we're going to help you close that deal. But to get more traffic, what do?
Drive on like 19
Yeah.
north is really bad. I-4 at rush
Starkey
hour,
Road is horrible.
tons of traffic.
Tons of traffic.
No, there's
So now that's a
whole
segue
lot.
into you.
Yes,
Yeah, you like that?
was wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you, John.
Chop, chop.
No, having a which I mean, I'm a little off key right now because I just found out that I could put a mouse on my iPad. Okay, so I'm static, and I was looking up online how to do it, and I have it now. So I'm like all over that right now and ready to continue talking that discussion. But instead, we're going to talk about how to drive traffic. And what you said about websites is excellent, but that also leads into the idea of the brochure website, which honestly is very kind of passé.
Right.
You can actually turn it into a marketing program in and of itself, so that your website, once you get traffic there, can do an enormous amount of work to either close a deal or track the people that came to it, and that's important. And you can do that with Facebook pixels. You can do that with an email capture list. But really, all of this revolves around the concept of Web 2.0, which Web 1.0 was driven by Google and the original design of the internet, which was as a research platform that anybody around the world could go find stuff, but they needed something in order to be able to search for it, and so that's where Google, came on the scene as a search engine. With the advent of social media, however, people now had a reason to go to the internet that wasn't just looking for something.
Yeah.
They went
Right.
there to interact and to play and to get angry and whatever it is that we all do on the internet now. Complain a lot. But that gave rise to Web 2.0. And in Web 2.0, the process is reversed. You're going out and you are talking to your customers before they even know they are customers. You are creating an audience rather than hoping they find you. And you can do that in social media by searching demographics and finding people who have the right interests, the right whatever it is that you want to have. But the key to all of this, though, is how do you attract that audience? And quite frankly, the only way to do it right and do it well is to be absolutely authentic in who you are and what you stand for. I'm working with a client right now who is in the pain management field. And they've got all these services and all these devices and everything else they want to use and they want to sell. But the fact of the matter is, what we really want to make sure of is that these people, that they're not selling when they're talking. That they're not selling with every article. That's not the point. The point in the articles and the blog posts and everything else that you do in the social media posts is not to try and sell stuff. And getting people to forget that for a little while is crazy, because the fact of the matter is what you want to do is create a tribe. You want to create a group of followers, and the only way to do that is to say, what is my key benefit that I want to bring to the world? And if you happen to be in real estate, and your key benefit is going to be, the ability to sell your house within 30 days, and that's what I want to do, and I'm going to talk to people about how to do that, because that's what I want to have happen for them. Not that I want them to book it with me, but because I want to see people happily selling houses. And so that's what you're going to talk about. Because what's going to happen is anybody that's even remotely interested in that subject is now going to start following you. They're going to start seeing the sincerity of what it is that you are bringing to the table. They are going to start to trust you as a person in that field. And once you have established that relationship, once you have those people, I don't want to say hooked, but joining you, they're joining up with you, then you have the ability to expect a certain amount of response from the internet on a regular basis. So that's great that you have this single message out there. But then how do you capture these people? And this is where a lot of the technology in a website can come in handy, because there's two basic ways you can capture them. One is the classic way, and that is to get them to sign up for an email list. Well, you're not going to say, hey, sign up for my email list, okay, because nobody wants to ever get an email. But if you have a newsletter, and if you have, if you want to stay updated on changes in the, the field of pain management, then this is a great way to have them go, yeah, I really do want to stay up to date on that. And, and you got the, I will never spam you. I will never sell your name. I will never, this is a relationship between us. I'm making a contract with you that I'm going to keep you up to date. I'm going to keep you informed. And if you want that, if you want the kind of information that you've seen from me, then this is how you get more of it.
Right.
And I'm not going to pitch you, because I don't have to, okay? I don't have to pitch. The old equation, the 80-20 rule in this stuff is for every 4 things you put up that tell, you get to put up 1 that asks. Honestly, even that is becoming quasi pushing the boundaries now, and it's more like a 90-10 rule, because people, you can learn to trust them. That when the time comes, they will come to you for the business, because you went out there and built the relationship, and they will never even do a Google search. Web 1.0 has been effectively killed by people who can do these things. Now, I mentioned one way of doing that is to have a newsletter. Now, a newsletter can be a real pain in the butt to put out all the time. But if you're actually creating your content, then our marketing sites that we build, our marketing platforms, they really are much more than websites. They actually take all your content, they capture it, and they will email it every week to whoever is on your email list. You don't have to do anything. It does all the work for you. So all you have to do is create that article, and then you set it and forget it, and it's done. And then you take that stuff and you move it off to Facebook and wherever. And honestly, Facebook is probably one of the best returns on investment, simply because there's a large percentage of the audience that has the disposable income that's in your market that's on Facebook. And so
like LinkedIn?
Almost in any business.
You don't prefer
LinkedIn
business?
is very good for B2B.
Okay.
Okay, but I'm talking about
Customer,
consumer
B2C.
sales. Okay, yeah, this is all B2C. But the other way to really win with Facebook is to put what's called a Facebook pixel on your website. And then when anybody who has a browser that has Facebook information saved in it, not just because they came from Facebook to read your article, but anybody that has Facebook that comes to your website, it will capture them. And it will put them into a special blacklist account for you. And you can build those people up that come to your website. And then what you can do is you can set campaigns that are just for those people. So even though they didn't sign up for your email list, you can still make sure that the people who came and read your last article will see your next one, just by advertising it through Facebook. And it doesn't have to cost you but a couple of bucks to do it. You're only talking $1 or $2 to do that. But the entire process of having all of that stuff put together in order to create all of that is free. Once you got it built, it all runs itself. There's no monthly subscriptions. There's no nothing except for renewing your domain name and your hosting, okay, for your marketing platform. I don't even call them websites anymore when we build them, because it needs to be so much more, and we can do so much more with it. But the Facebook pixel captures them, and then if you're really good, and you've gathered 300, 400, 500 people with your Facebook pixel from people that have come to read your stuff, you can then ask Facebook and their algorithms to clone your audience. Now this is radical stuff, because what it does is it looks at those, let's say, 300 people that you have captured, and it'll say, oh, look at this. All of these people have these following demographic factors in common. And it'll cross-section them by gender and interests. And it may be that, you are selling, jewelry and you really love it, but it turns out that a very high percentage of the people that come to you actually own a Lexus. And so instead of trying to, find people interested in diamond jewelry, which you're not really going to find, what it may find is that, but there are lots of Lexus groups out there and people who say they have a Lexus. And so you can go ahead and advertise to the Lexus owners and those who want to have a Lexus, because they are psychographically your right client. And Facebook can allow you to do that as well in cloning your target audience. So, and Facebook does that for free. Okay, as long as you have an ad account with them, you can go ahead and run all that stuff.
I thought the Pixel died.
No. Nope, it's still out there.
I mean, literally have not heard that word in 2 years.
Yeah, no, it's still out there and it's still working just fine. And if you want to know if it's working, you can go ahead and ask yourself a very simple question, and that is, have you ever gone out and gone to eBay and looked at something and then come back to Facebook and there's an ad for it right there? Pixel's working. That's how it's all done. I mean, honestly, a Facebook pixel, it literally is an image that is put somewhere on your page that is invisible. It's 100% transparent, but it is 1 pixel wide, but it's an image. And because that image has to be picked up and loaded from the Facebook server, that picking it up and bringing it there is what alerts Facebook that somebody's on your page, and now they know who looked at it. And then they can go ahead and pull all that information back. It is very FBI kind of, Secret Service sort of thing.
I thought it was all Google. I thought it was all Google.
No, they're all evil.
They're all evil.
Regardless of Google's strong admonitions.
Did I ever tell you the story that, so my son and I were going over is Facebook listening type of thing. And we said, all right, let's test it. So we sat back in our room back there, and we left in phones and everything, and we went outside and we figured, okay, this is what we're going to talk about.
Right.
So we walked in, and we had Facebook was on. I had the actual app open. Right. Had Facebook on the computer.
Right.
And so we went out. So we started talking about porcupines. Man, it'd be cool to have a porcupine. Could you imagine owning a porcupine? That'd be so cool. But what does a porcupine eat? And where do you even get one? Can you own one? Blah, blah, blah. The next day, Google, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter was showing us all this information about porcupines.
So ironic.
And
ironic is one word. Terrifying is another word.
And we never typed it in as a search.
Of course.
We did
No, you just talked about it in front of Facebook.
And so for the next 2 weeks, we were inundated with porcupine crap.
Well,
and did you know it's legal to own a porcupine?
I won't talk about
You've
my
learned
experience
so
with
much
them.
more today because of this.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're now qualified to be a porcupine owner.
Yes.
Because Facebook was listening.
Yes.
See, it's not evil.
Oh, they're always listening. So is
Because
Google.
they weren't.
So, oh yeah, they're all. It's just.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. And
So-
Amazon never, ever does it.
So okay. So how does someone go about starting this? Do they need to call you?
Well, of course, they could call us right here at the studio at Tampa Bay Multimedia Services, and that number will appear up on the screen at some point. If not, then it's at the end promos. Why look at that?
TechShamans@ABTV.com. Emails.
And that is one thing, but then really the key to all of this is no matter what you're doing, is to be authentic. And talk about your purpose and really start to get that in mind. Get that in the back of your head that, selling people stuff and sitting there talking about the features and all this, nobody cares. Everybody's jammering with that. But go in and talk to them about the things that are important to them. I mean, one of the easiest things you can do in creating content is say, okay, why did this last customer buy from me? Why did they want this product? And how did it solve their problem? Because I'll go back to it. People don't want to buy a drill. They want to buy a hole. And so...
I'm not going to touch that.
Thanks, John.
I am Boss Tech, for God's sake.
Yes.
It's hard for me to shut my mouth sometimes.
They wanted to see John's smiling face.
So there we have it. We loaded him up. Tee him up. Boom.
There's a hole.
But that is... no, but if you want to sign up and you want to call with us, we can go ahead, set up, look at your situation, and figure out what the best way is
How
to
long
make
does
it run
it take
for
to
you.
get that going? To implement it?
Generally, if we do the whole kit and caboodle, we'll have the website rebuilt, into a marketing platform in 1 to 2 weeks.
Okay.
But then you're talking about another, 4 weeks of
But
training.
what if they don't want to rebuild the site? I'm just playing devil's advocate.
I know, that's fine. Then, honestly, I say, okay, is your website working? What are you getting out of it? Okay, and there are things we can add on. We can do some conversions. Matter of fact, we just did one. They had a big website, but we were able to convert it because a lot of our stuff was compatible with what they had. And so we were able to make that happen. But that's what happens when you call and you find out if we can do all these things within your current platform. Then you don't lose anything, but we can update it, upgrade it, and turn it into a marketing platform. So those things are available as well. But then, there's training involved in how to do this, not because it takes, like thousands of hours for you to do. And honestly, I don't use Illustrator or any of the Adobe products really because they're just so complicated, to learn how to use them that I just never bother. And so I knew that when we designed the marketing platform that it had to be something that people could learn very quickly. But what we do is we do like a 1-hour training session every week so that you really get into it and you understand, and we walk you through the entire process of running your own marketing program in less than 30 minutes a day. And that is full bore out there. You're now running email marketing, social media marketing, content marketing, video marketing. Everything is included. And it also pumps up your, what was the phrase we came up for SEO? We came up with a new phrase for it.
Yeah, it's not SEO.
It was search result optimization. Search result optimization.
SRO.
That's what we're calling
What's
it.
your SRO?
Yes.
SRO.
And which really is a good point because it's search results that will drive.
Yeah, SEO is only one time. It's when you set your website up, or if you do major changes, then you go in and fix it.
Exactly.
So after you've done that,
Right.
the word SEO does not apply anymore.
No. Once you are optimized, you're optimized.
It's a scam if they're coming to you and you've had a website for years. Just saying. Now, to update your
it's been a buzz
SEO is
phrase.
one thing. It is a buzz phrase.
Yeah.
It's like the cloud. People don't know what. People don't want to. The cloud's nothing but a big freaking server rack somewhere sitting in Arizona
But server
or
rack
Idaho.
just sounds so mundane.
I know.
Yeah.
It's just somebody else's computer.
That's right.
Somebody, ow.
If she's been your girlfriend for 10 years, she's your wife. Just so you know.
So that is that's the key behind all of it. But yeah, give us a call and we'll
Or
go ahead
email us.
and or email us.
Shamans at WeBeamTV.com.
There you go.
So, but the problem is all this. Now, here's, I see, I'm going to segue right into this.
Segue.
Now, I got this beautiful website built and all this information's rolling whole 9 yards, and all of a sudden my computer takes a crap.
Takes a crap. Oh my gosh, that's an understatement.
I'm going to give the perfect example. My wife's computer.
Yes.
My wife called me the other day. Hey, should it take 20 minutes to turn the computer on? Nope. It shouldn't.
No.
Oh, it's on now. Yep. But it's not doing anything. I can't even move the mouse.
That is just one of the many ways that you can fall victim to, either hardware failure, software failure, or anything to lose data. There's about 50 different ways that you can lose data in your business, and some of them would be a laptop or hard drive. Hard drive and a laptop or desktop could fail. Mobile phone, if you're using mobile devices, they can become destroyed. Phones or tablets or laptops, being stolen.
Yep.
That is, there's a
Wait, that happens?
Yes. And 97. The FBI statistics state that about 97% of those devices that are stolen are never recovered. Who keeps their serial numbers? Nobody. Nobody keeps track of that.
I do now.
Yes.
Thanks to you, I do now.
And I'm going to go do a screen capture of mine right now, so it'll be in my images.
Yay.
As a matter of fact,
Unless that goes down.
we just had a client that had purchased
Images won't go down.
one of their salespeople had purchased a laptop from us, and was using it in everyday business activities, and he left the company and left with the laptop.
Duh.
So they called us up and said, what is the serial number to that device, so we can go ahead and place a report on it, and we were able to provide that information. And they didn't have it, we had it, and they were able to go ahead and place a police report on it because they purchased the device from us. You can accidentally delete data,
Done that before.
That never happened.
or this is another thing that happens a lot for businesses, employees getting ready to leave, and you either put in their 2 weeks notice or they didn't. They leave abruptly, and if they usually are disgruntled, and the first thing they do is they just start throwing everything on their desktop away. Start deleting, emails. Say, for instance, this is your sales executive who had a bunch of pending contracts getting ready to happen, and they just go in there and delete all the emails and stuff, and you did not take the opportunity before this happened to start gaining control of that data beforehand. Something like that could happen. Your computer can be hijacked by malware, viruses. If you don't have a company policy in place in electronic device use inside the business, you could become infected. Your business can be slowed down or come to a complete stop from viruses or anything like that inside your business. We go into offices all the time, even doctors' offices, where you have office staff that is on Facebook and Instagram and all over the place, watching videos, doing things they're not supposed to do on company time instead of inputting data into the system. You can have your online storage if you use a backup solution. That could be hijacked if you're not keeping your passwords up to date. Changing them on a regular basis, or leaving them laying around. Your online portal for your data storage could be hijacked. And then you have ransomware attacks. An employee could accidentally open an email that has ransomware virus in it, which then starts encrypting all the data files inside that particular computer. But it doesn't just stop there. Say, for instance, you have a network attached storage device inside your business, and you have a shared folder that all the people in the business decide to share, and you have that stored somewhere in your office or even off-site. Even off-site, as long as the data store shared on that, and it will encrypt those files through there, go to the next person's computer, keep spreading. We've seen a company that had 15 years in business, and they have a central server that people log into, and they have a data share, and they edit data files in that server, and somebody had a crypto virus. Nobody knew about it. Nobody really pays attention to the physical server itself, and the server's there sitting there encrypting all the data files across the board. The company lost 15 years worth of information.
Oh, my.
Gone in a heartbeat. And this is where I go back to back up your data. It is your responsibility as a business owner, especially if you work in the financial industry or any other industries that, have client data in there. I would make sure you have some kind of a backup solution, whether or not you image your computers on a regular basis and store those images off-site, away from the business, so that way in case there's a fire, in case there's, hurricane or any kind of other natural disaster, you don't have to worry about losing that data. You don't get robbed. You can pull your data back. If you're using an online solution, make sure you use a solution that doesn't just copy the data, but also makes redundant backups consistently. Whether or not it's on a daily basis, and it stores that data for up to 30 days or longer. So that way, in case your company does come across an issue where it becomes that you get a crypto virus that encrypts all the data in your business, we can pinpoint an exact time that virus came in and say, okay, all the data from today has been encrypted. It's gone. But we can go back to yesterday, and all the data is copied and it's in good condition. We can wipe out all those bad data, Bring over the data. You lose a day's worth of work. Okay? That's okay.
Hey, if you lose a month, it's a lot better than using 15 years.
Let me ask. This is what I always tell people. I says, where would you be today if you lost your client list? Where would you be today if all the projects that you've ever done in all the years that you've been in business for people, what would happen if you lost that data? Where would you be if you had to start over again? You would be out of business. And it's something that's so simple to do. Back up your data.
But what if you're a company that's got, like, for us, for me to back up, I mean, we back up anyway for the most part, but we carry terabytes.
Yes.
Terabytes. And what's the next one up? We're getting ready to get into
Quantum bytes.
I mean,
Made that up.
no, is it teraflops? No, that's how much you think. That's how much the processing.
Yeah, that's how many.
So I mean,
Petrobytes.
Petrobytes,
So we
that's
get
it.
into the point where, I mean, some of our machines are carrying 1,000 terabytes almost, 900 terabytes.
Redundant backup get carried. If in a case like you, I mean, that's tons of data.
Yeah.
It would take you such
That would
a long
take me
time
2 days to back that
upload.
up.
Yes. Some companies, what they do is they'll provide a backup solution. We have like a company that we work with that what they do is they'll provide you with an external storage device. You can back up your hard data right in-house, hook it up. The software will back it up to an external device. You mail it back to them. They will then take that data and put it right into the cloud for you. And then from that point on, you're incrementally backing up consistently and making sure your stuff's there. If you have to have your data back, they can ship you back a device
Right.
so you can get your data.
Carbonite, a long time ago, Carbonite reached out to us and goes, hey, we could do this and blah, blah, blah. I said, do you realize that we are we're a video studio? And they're like, oh, yeah, no problem. And back then, I was like, we have almost 900 gigabytes on every machine.
Yeah.
You know how long it would take me to upload that?
It's unbelievable.
I wouldn't be able to use the machines because they're uploading. It would take
Even
weeks.
back in the day, even USB 2.0 and 3.0, it would take forever. Now with the advent of USB-C and other devices, data storage transfer is becoming faster and faster and faster. But again, as video files get larger because of different compressions. You got 8K now that people are all bragging about.
No one's editing 8K.
Hey, it doesn't matter, but people still probably shooting it.
Right,
and,
right.
And it's,
not yet. Not
yet.
Can't shoot yet. No, 4K, yes.
There you go. I mean, still those data files get large.
Yeah, no, they're monsters.
I mean, it's ridiculous.
Right.
So, and in company files, a lot of times little database files. They don't get very big.
No.
So in your opinion, in your professional opinion, what would be better? I mean, say I just can't do a cloud backup. It's impossible for us. It's just too big. Would it better to have a server computer on site that can be reached by all the computers, or a NAS server? Which is better, the NAS or an actual server that has a NAS connected to it, so that way it can be protected from hackers?
Problem with either device, okay, is that they will not be protected. Because what's going to happen in a case like even having a NAS device in your office, or you have a physical server, people don't pay attention to them because they're not physically in front of them using them on a consistent basis. They're storing data. So when somebody gets in to your server, they're snooping around. You're not seeing the mouse moving around. You're not paying attention to what's happening.
Right.
You're never watching data activity on the hard drive.
Okay.
Now, storing the data there in a central location is good because it makes it easier, whether or not it's a NAS or if you're using a server. It's because everybody gets to the same location. All the data is in one location.
So there's no way to cut that server off other than, I mean, even if it's not on the exact same network, but it's sitting in site, so you have to go through a secondary or third or fourth router with firewalls and all that kind of stuff to it. So if they do get in on my network, they get my computers and not my backups.
No, because in order for the computers, the local
secondary router coming in, the whole 9 yards from.
They can still get in.
Wow, that is amazing.
If
There's
a will,
line of sight, you're done.
it really depends on. It really depends on the person that's trying to get into you.
Okay.
It really depends on whether
How
or not
deep they want to go.
Yes.
Yeah.
Some are just the port scanners. They scan ports on a network, open network. They find out an IP address. They say, oh, here's an open IP address. They have a port scanner that goes in there. Port scanner goes in and gives them a response. Hey, I see a web server on this IP address at port 80. Okay, what kind of server is it? They get kind of give us some information. Well, we know that it's running a LAMP server. Linux LAMP server in there.
Okay.
So we're going to go ahead and scan some popular password as username to get into the server. We're gonna try to do some general passwords and try to break it.
Can you put something in front of that where they can't get it? Did they just get stopped at the?
You can not allow the server to be out on the
No, I'm talking about
public.
your whole network.
Well, you disconnect your internal network away from the internet.
Okay.
Now you can set up two different networks. You can have an internal network, and if you have every computer has a network card in it, you can have internet. But again, the problem is in order for those computers to communicate with the server, there is going to have to be some kind of shared connection there. So if you make a network shared folder, the minute you make a shared folder, it's just like taking the hard drive in the server and basically leaving it right on the computer itself, so you can access those files. Right. And the minute it's there, those crypto viruses can it doesn't have to get into the server. It can just get on the main computer that customer client.
Is there okay? I understand that side of it, but my question is isn't there something that can keep these hackers out? Period. I mean, is there not? I mean, are they that good? No matter what you put up there, they're getting through.
There is always where there's a will, there's a way, and that's the problem. Yep. You can never and in our industry, we will never ever say it can't happen. You can only put in safeguards.
But one of the things we're talking about here, okay, is that concerted hacker effort, and I have experienced that a couple times, okay, and it can be ugly. But frankly, the much more common event is human error, okay, or fire, or something stupid like that. And I mean, I just pulled up here. You can get a 4 terabyte external hard drive, okay, which you can plug in and make a copy of everything that you have on your computer, okay, and it can run an automatic update thing. And you can, and the cool thing is, for $99 you're gonna have one, but for $200 you're gonna have 2.
Remember that, and they can fail too.
Well, they yes.
That's why
so
you've
got 2,
redundant.
okay, and so you've got one running the update, and you bring in a fresh one every 2 weeks, okay, and you just swap them out.
Exactly.
And keep rolling that way. And then the worst case scenario is that you're 2 weeks behind.
Exactly.
And you've got this 2-week-old hard drive that was before you got the encrypto attack, okay, if that's what it was, or the fire, or
and the best solution, okay, in a case like this would be, in your case, if you have an external device or something that can image the hard drive on a periodic basis.
That's what I was going to say. Do you want to do a backup, like just bring all the data, or do you actually want to clone the hard drive?
These would be some of the best ways, because it doesn't make sense to constantly image the drive, because you're not going to be able to capture hour by hour. So you do an image, say, once a month, okay? And you do that image off to the side. That image is done. It makes a snapshot of the computer in the exact way it is today. All the software, everything.
License numbers,
licensing,
all that,
everything, all your office, everything.
Because you're not changing the motherboard out or nothing. You're just.
Then, at the same time, you purchase, Carbonite or some kind of a backup solution that's going to have, redundant backup, has encryption, has a lot of extra, back to it, and you say, okay, I back up everything, and I back it up depending on how you do your work throughout the day. If you need it hourly or consistently back, synced immediately. If you make a change to a document, you want it synced, boom, turn that on. Now, in a hard this say something really bad happens. You get a crypto lock and a fire in the building.
Okay.
Okay, so here we go. What we do is we have that image stored off-site, okay? Find the same kind of computer. If it's Windows 10, luckily now Windows 10 can go ahead and install into other computers with licensing. You restore that image to a new computer, okay? Which brings back, last month of the snapshot of the computer. There's all your software, everything back on, everything's there. Licensing, everything's there, and it's obviously all the data that you inputted from a month ago. Okay? Then you go ahead and install your backup solution, or you probably already have it on that image showing, and you say restore. And it's going to say, from when? Oh, I want all the data back that I created just before the crypto. Okay, so all that data then downloads back into the computer, all the changes and stuff that happened from a month ago.
Up to that day.
Boom. You are now back on the road. Everything's back the way it was. Yep. You click and you're back in business. Very, very simple. Very simple.
That is cool.
And that's what needs to be done.
And speaking of infected, right?
Infected.
So I found a thing from Popular Mechanics that gave 17 apps that Wandera claims to have Trojan malwares installed, including this is with the RTO vehicle information. I'll put all these on our Facebook page. RTO vehicle information, which is one of those things that you plug in and it talks to you. EMI calculators, file managers, documents, smart GPS speedometer, Crick One, live cricket scores, whatever the heck that. Oh, cricket, got it.
Cricket.
Daily fitness yoga poses, FM radio, pro internet radio, My Train Info, which is the IRCT and PNR track information, Around Me Place Finder, Easy Contacts Backup, Ramadan Times 2019 Pro, because I'm always keeping up what's going on, Restaurant Finder, where it finds your food, your BMI Calculator Pro, which I know tons of people that have downloaded that. Dual Accounts Pro, that means that your phone's running 2 different accounts. Video Editor, which mute video. Islamic World Pro, Qibla, which is not spelled right, there's no U, and Smart Video Compressor. Now, Smart Video Compressor I got rid of because I did have that on there. Those came with malware.
And the funny thing is, they may not have had malware in them prior to being submitted to the app stores, but these applications reside on a server that they build it into.
Because it all led back to App Aspect Technologies Private Limited in India.
Yep. And all they have to do is inject code into these into the server that these are running on, and there you go. You have malware.
There you go. So speaking of malware, let's talk about Walmart.
What?
Yeah, the Walmart's early Black Friday deals on tech has begun.
All right.
Wow.
We got
So it's already out there. It's going, and so if you want some,
we can start buying
deals,
now.
Yep, you start buying now.
All right.
Literally buying now, which I just want to throw that out there. So okay, we got about 4 minutes left. The 404 error created the World Wide Web. Because without it, you can go into an infinity of crap.
There's a lot of crap out there.
There is a lot of crap. So, and it said, in the ad said, just on Popular Mechanics, the 404 error was an obvious innovation, yet the internet you know and love wouldn't be possible without it.
Why not? Why is it that, hitting the wrong page is so important?
Well, I think because what happens, you go to a website and it just goes into an infinite loop. It'll just go forever.
True.
Oh, because
trying
it
to
can't find what it's looking
That's
for.
right.
It just sits there.
So you could
still
literally
waiting to open the page.
Yep.
Yes. So we have to say the page is not there, so that way we can go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Right. So to me, I get it. Without it, you're going into an infinity loop type of thing, and it'll just go forever, never.
Well, it thinks you knew what you were asking. You knew what you were talking about when you asked for it, and so therefore it's going to keep looking.
Yep.
Right.
It assumes you're right, whereas I guess the 404 actually says, no, we may actually have a dumbass on the line.
Right.
And so,
So the 404 is the operator Sorry,
pretty
there's nobody
much.
there at this line.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So,
It's the voicemail that picks up.
so I was going to talk about some
Sorry, this number
top
is disconnected.
10 desktop, or actually desktop power strips.
Well, you have 30 seconds each. Go.
Yeah, I don't think so. I get it because some of these I agree with, some of these I definitely do not agree with, and it's like, to me, I think if you're going to get something, go to APC.
I was going to say, the heavier, the better.
Yes, because the bigger the battery, right?
Bigger the battery,
Long-
the bigger the capacitors.
And you want one that's got a processor in too to clean the power.
Oh, yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Because like we're having a problem with our main machine where all of a sudden we're getting noise, and if you move the mouse, it's like you can literally hear it in the audio moving. Now, luckily, that audio does not transfer into what we do, but eventually it could, because that could corrupt. So we have come to find out that our building is, well, first of all, our building is, we're old. I did not put brand new, and I did not take the time to take this place. Normally, when you get a studio, you take it down to studs, and rerun all your own power, and you run it off of clean power. So you get rid of all the old power that's in there, which takes approximately 60 days to do that properly. We didn't do that. We just came in and used what power's here, and then the power here has been spliced, cut, moved, jumped off of so many times that now it's just all dirty. So I think if we stay in this location, which we probably will for at least a couple more years, the next place we go in, I'll negotiate the contract that we have to come in and we have to pull the place down to studs and rewire everything.
Yep.
It's just easier,
Yep.
cleaner.
But until then, you have
Power conditioners,
Power conditioners.
which is a big deal. So if you get, it's great to go get a good. I mean, I've got 12 power strips hanging in there.
Made by
I use
Suave.
them as in an emergency because there's no way that I would use them the other way because you need APC. So we're actually going to put I have an electrician friend. He's going to put a power conditioner in line for us back there
Nice.
that will run everything through. So
Will that go before the
it goes before everything.
panel?
Yeah, it goes. Yeah, it comes. There's a module that goes. You pull the main power. The main power goes in, and that power goes down and refeeds the distribution box. So
don't try this at home.
yeah, don't, because it's not. Well, you can. Good luck.
Oh, yeah.
Remember, don't play with knives. Go to your friend's house and play with knives. That was a joke from the Halloween Horror Nights. It's,
Really?
Yeah.
'Cause
Kids, don't play
I
with
was-
knives
'cause
in
that-
your own
that-
home.
That's how I raised my kids.
Yeah, go to your friend's
So-
house. But anyway, 10 seconds left to go. We will see everybody next Monday. Remember, if you got any questions, techshamans@webeamtv.com. We will answer all we can, and we'll see you next week.
Next week.
Take care.
See you.
We got the plans cause we are the Tech Shamans. We understand cause we are the Tech Shamans. Dude, I got this cool thing to show you. Really, man? Yeah, it's far out and technical and stuff. Awesome. Yeah. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Cool.